All right. Hey everyone, welcome to the Hyderabad Power Platform user group. Today we are going to talk about building trust, enhancing model driven apps with Google reCAPTCHA. And Venkat has a good demo and a super use case that he's going to demo here. Venkat is a Microsoft MVP for business applications and he has presented multiple times in our user group, both on the virtual and in the in person events. He's from Hyderabad, and I'll now hand over to you, Venkat, so you can start introducing yourself and go ahead with the session.
Hi everyone. Yeah, thanks Yash and Ritika for giving this particular opportunity. Uh, Hope you can hear my voice, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Venkat, we can hear you.
Yes. Yes.
Also,
Yeah.
can you just hide this? Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, just I am Venkat, as introduced by Yash, and I have over 17 years of experience into Microsoft Dynamics CRM Power Platform and the other Azure related integration. At present, I head uh, the Fusion AX as a Power Platform and the Microsoft Practice, where we do all the other implementations along with the Copilot Studio and AI. So, congratulations, Yash and Ritika, for getting renewed in Microsoft MVP for 25-26 season, 25-26 year. And yeah, so now coming to this particular session, right? So here how this particular requirement we got it was, first I'll give some introduction about what is the use case here. Okay, so generally, right, if you are working on any particular web resources in Dynamics 365 CRM inside, so obviously, right, it will be very much secure. Like Microsoft has a very much stringent setup that is present across that particular tenant, where nobody can intervene on that particular with respect to security perspective. Okay, but recently we got one particular requirement saying that we from the CRM web resources, we are interacting with one of the AP with a few APIs, and these APIs are the common APIs for the website as well, the website and mobile, and as well as so as these are the common APIs, right? We got this particular security related scan that was happened in the from the website perspective, and also security rating we can consider it. So as an recommendation from them, right? They got like okay, just implement the reCAPTCHA from the Google so that the security thing will happen. Okay, so as we are using a common API, they so in order to in, enable this particular captcha, that is the reCAPTCHA, the security of the Google, we need to include that particular site. Okay, so in reCAPTCHA, there is the couple of things that needs to be done. That is the one is the site key and the site password. So this site password needs to be kept at the server side at the API level at the header, so that any request that comes from the from the client, right? That could be an CRM web resource, or an website, or an mobile app, or an other external app also. Okay, so that request will get validated by the site password that is present at the server side. Okay, so as a common API that has been used, right? So generally in any software implementation, the in order to reduce the maintainability and to improve the readability, all these things, right? What is the thing that has been that will be followed is a common API will be built, so that irrespective of the kind of technology that you are using, all the other external systems or the other source and destination systems can use this particular API. So the middle layer, they will generally they will make it as a common APIs, so that everybody can work. So we got into this particular situation, like, okay, we got into some negotiation. We was initially not in a position to implement this one. The reason is Microsoft have the sentinel in place, and we have the tenant, it has been secured, and all the particular crm api and all the website things are being whitelisted in our tenant level, so nowhere nobody can do that one. But as this API has been used by multiple people, and this API has been enabled with the reCAPTCHA as a header, we cannot directly call that particular API without passing this particular site key. Okay, so that's where we were fine. Okay, like all the other teams are being present, let us just give another layer of this particular security by using this reCAPTCHA. So that is the introduction of why this particular thing has been implemented. Even though the Microsoft provides an stringent and also sophisticated security. So that's where the agenda of this one is the why trust matters, and introduction to the Google reCAPTCHA, and how what are the different kinds of integration approaches that we have it in model driven apps, and I'll give some kind of demo and also the steps, like how we can do that one, and challenges, and the best practice will be doing it. So in this particular session, I'm more concentrating on the model driven apps, that is the client side setup of this particular captcha, so that actually this reCAPTCHA implementation is being carried out in both the server and both the server and the client side. Okay, so the client side, this reCAPTCHA needs to be present, the setup is needs to be present. It also the server side, the API level also, this thing has to be present. That's how I'm going to tell you. But here I will emphasize more on this particular client side, how in the model driven apps we are going to keep it just within a simple demo. Okay, why this trust matters was, like, we know, like, with the help of this particular AI and also the other automation that are present, right? So what was happening, right? It is easy to break this particular system if at all there was an less. Okay, there was an less security things that has been implemented. That's where the rise of bot attacks and spam submissions, sensitive data and user interactions in apps, and impact on the user confidence and the data quality, and also the security validation. So trust matter means how anybody can trust your particular website or any of your application or the project that you are working, right, based upon different particular factors. So these different factors, okay, do you just how they will be evaluating is, okay, are you calling an APIs? Yes, we are calling an APIs. Are these APIs are secured? Then you can say that yes, they are secure. Then they will ask you how they are secure. Then there are number of parameters that are present, which we call that particular API as a secure. Example is HTTP and HTTPS. Okay, if you say just a normal HTTP website is there, that is not a secure API endpoint. Okay, like that, there are various factors that are present while while giving one particular security wise a green flag. If you wanted to give, then we have to adhere all these particular trust related jargons that has been present in this particular one. Okay, so what is the Google reCAPTCHA? So actually, right, this is an free service by Google, which will protect the websites from spam and abuse, and there are different types are present here. uh, So one is the types or reCAPTCHA V2, where you will get it. I am a not a robot checkbox. You will be getting it like with in Gmail. If you are trying to do it right, if at all couple of times we key in some wrong password and all, automatically we will get one particular checkbox. Okay, and another one is the reCAPTCHA V2, which is invisible, and reCAPTCHA V3 is the score based validation without the user interaction, and lightweight and easy to integrate. So I will stop here. Just I will say that what are these ones. So this reCAPTCHA V2 is simply if you are entering any particular details, right? Before submitting those details, there will be checkbox will be present where this reCAPTCHA will be present. That is the reCAPTCHA V2. Next is the reCAPTCHA V2 invisible means simply you will not see in any particular checkbox and all, but you will see that reCAPTCHA icon and some GIF will be shown. And whereas the reCAPTCHA V3, there will be nothing interaction with the user, but there will be some particular score will be present where based upon that how the score will be calculated is how the user is typing his username and password. Okay, so any particular user example, this is a form where the user is entering his credentials and trying to log into the system. So generally, this if we use this reCAPTCHA V3, right, based upon the inputs that are being provided and the click on submit, okay, this Google reCAPTCHA V3, it will um, it will calculate this particular score without any particular is user interaction. And also what is the other one is it is the lightweight and also easy to integrate. Okay, so in this particular session just I'm going to use it with a free service by Google, but I'm stressing out the points that this can be used in the in your development purposes, but if you are going for the production use like in the productions and all, it it is mandatory and also advisable to take this particular license of the Google reCAPTCHA, so that there are number of other factors that also can be considered and easily you can get the details of it. Okay, so where to use this reCAPTCHA in model driven apps, like example we have in so recently we got this particular reCAPTCHA as an out-of-box thing, light in most of the applications. But we previously, right, we don't have the liberty that is present. Example, right, generally we use these power pages. In these power pages, we will have this contact us and the feedback forms. We used to get hell number of junk data, keep on doing it, which makes us our website to be very much in a deadlock situation where we keep on getting all these injections and all. So basic thing that will be we used to tell to the users is okay, just keep it one particular other security layer, that is the reCAPTCHA and all these things. Okay, so like contact text forms, feedback forms, and also the lead capture web forms are present. There you can use this reCAPTCHA. And also the second point is the custom portal pages via Power Pages. If you are using, then we can go it. And also, if at all there are any authentication scenarios like the external users, example, I wanted to provide the access to my particular component, this. Which is in present in the power pages or in model driven apps, then we have to use this particular reCAPTCHA also. And also whenever we are embedding any canvas apps or any custom web resources, then we should be using this particular reCAPTCHA in the model driven apps. Okay, what are the different kinds of integration approaches that we are having? Okay, so first one is like using Power Pages with custom HTML, JS, and Liquid. And if you are using the Power Pages, then this is the way that you can use it: HTML, JS, Liquid. And second way is embedding via web resources in model driven forms. So in this particular session, I'm going to tell you about the process of doing it by in this particular second point. That means in the model driven app, I'm going to use one particular HTML web resource and I'll keep that particular HTML web resource inside one model driven app, and then I will use I will make that particular web resource as available into that to the user to use it in the navigation. And the third way of doing is by using integrating in the PCF, the Power Component Framework, which we can use it with the combination of the React and all. These are the things where these three you can use it in the form of the front end. And the last one is the backend, like the backend verification via Power Automate or simply the plugins. So the plugins can be used where Just example, if you have any particular webhook or which you have an Azure function, or you can have an Azure the Power Automate, where this verification, this API will be used to call the Google API. As mentioned at the starting of this particular session, to implement this captcha, right? It is not enough to implement only at the client side or only at the server side. It should be implemented both at the client side and the server side. So so the first 3 points here mentioned says, okay, where you have to implement and how, what is the way that you can implement with respect to the business application, like in the Power Pages or in model driven apps, or in the model controls. You can use it in the as a form of the client side way by using these three methods. Whereas the last method is, whether you are using these three, you can have the three different clients, but we can have only one API. We can build it in the Power Automate or the plugins, where we are going to call this particular Google API. Okay, so any questions that you can see, Yesh, Vaditika?
No questions at the moment, Venkat, but if in case there's anything, I'll let you know.
Thank you. Yeah. So this is how, just the introduction about the Google reCAPTCHA and how we are going to use. So there are few steps that needs to be done before getting to it. Is we first in Google reCAPTCHA, there will, so we have to okay, first thing is you need to get the site key and also the secret key. Okay, so site key we will be using it the client side, whereas the secret key we are going to use it in the server side on the API at the header side. Okay, so first is how you can register is just you can use the Google. There will be a developer. There is a developer site that will be present for the Google, where you are going to register the, okay, where generally, right, like so for Google also, there is an centralized portal where you can perform all particular development, just like a portal. Similar, I will give you an example as an apple to apple comparison. Like we have in Azure, we have the Azure portal, right? Portal.azure.com. In the same way, for the Google, you will have the cloud.google.com. You can use it there. If you go for it, you can register for that particular Google, and then once you register, right, there are few things that you can be doing it, that I am going to tell it. Okay, once you register as a step one, what you will get it is just you have to provide the control, the name of that particular project, and in that particular project you can provide this particular reCAPTCHA, and this particular reCAPTCHA you can get the, once you create any reCAPTCHA, you will get the site key and the secret key for it. After that one, the step three. That means this one. All these first three are there, right? These are the thing, but add reCAPTCHA widget to your form, whether HTML, JS, or the PCF. And on the form submit, send the token to Google for verification. That means at the client side, we will be sending this particular site key, so that we will be sending this particular site key, so that this server at the API side, it will read that particular one, and then it will validate. Next, this one, the fifth step, which is validating the response server side plugin or the Power Automate, where in the, that means in this one, this backend verification, this one with this API, what it will do, right? It will take this particular site key, and then in the API we'll have the secret key. It will match this one, site key and the secret key. If they are matched, then we'll process the data if valid. Otherwise, we'll show this particular error. So here, right, just I'll be giving this particular demo walkthrough, like quick walkthrough of the reCAPTCHA inside a model driven app form or the portal page. So let me uh, bring back the portal one. Okay, so if you observe, right, I told you this is how just I have logged in here. Okay, I have just logged in with with my details, and just I have logged in here with the cloud dot console dot actually the cloud console dot cloud dot google dot com. Actually, the developer things will be present in this console dot cloud dot google dot com. So as I mentioned, right, just if you observe. Okay. So ideally, right, you will get this particular one like cloud.google.com. What we will be going to write, just you can click on this for evaluation purpose. Just you click on this particular start free with your email ID, then you can go for it. So if you click on this particular console, there we will have, we can create all our particular components here. So if you observe, right, just I created one particular project and it has a project one, and also the project ID will also be present. So there are similar to the Power similar to our Azure uh, Foundry, right? We have all the different kinds of APIs, all the stuff that is also present here. Where if you wanted to explore, right, you can explore these things just on the dashboard. Okay, similar to our Azure portal, we have the same kind of portal that is also present here, where we can perform all these particular APIs, all the monitoring, the monitoring things that are, we can do it. Okay, so now going back to this particular solution, so we'll have this security. So in this particular security, just I have created one particular component here, just as a detection and control. Just I click it as a reCAPTCHA, and then so once you click on this particular reCAPTCHA, if you click on the create key, you will get the respective key that will be created here. If you observe, right, uh, okay, so this is the captcha that is present, you will get this particular ID. Okay, so but if you observe, we need the site key, side key and the secret key. The one which you are seeing it here was the, in this ID whatever this is present, this is the side key. When if you go back into the more details, then you will get the respective password as well. If you go to the key details, then you should be able to see all the respective details. Okay. Now, so let us go back to here. Now, what was having? I came here, registered. I got the site key and also the secret key. Now, what we are going to do is we need to add this particular reCAPTCHA widget to this particular form. Okay. So before going that one, right? Just I said about the how we can perform this capture related one, right? There is an documentation that is present on this particular reCAPTCHA, where we will have this particular samples also present. The reference is also present. Go to this client libraries. I have used this. See, if you have observed, right, just we have used the Google Cloud CLI, and then you can authenticate with the reCAPTCHA once. So once you do it right, just this is the service set point that you will be getting it, and also you will get the few details that are also present here. So just if you observe, okay. So first thing, right, as I mentioned in this particular PPT, we have reCAPTCHA V2, V2 invisible, and the V3 are present. Now go back to here on this reCAPTCHA. Okay, so this is about the introduction. Choose a type. This reCAPTCHA. If you observe right in this one, reCAPTCHA V2. I am not a robot checkbox. reCAPTCHA V2 invisible captcha badge and reCAPTCHA V3. And this one is for the reCAPTCHA V2 Android, and reCAPTCHA one. This is going to be removed soon. So if you observe reCAPTCHA V2, I'm not a robot checkbox means you will see like this one. If you see about the reCAPTCHA V2 invisible, then just simply you are going to see like this one. And if you go back to the reCAPTCHA other V2 or Android, then you will be seeing it. So this has been shut down. That means this is not at all available. So reCAPTCHA V3 means you will get the particular score that is ever present. So there are different ways that you can load your reCAPTCHA. One is by using this asynchronously. First, you have to do it is you have to keep this JS file of the Google in our web resource, and also this is how you can do this one. So just I will see it show it here. So this reCAPTCHA one JS file should be present, and after that inside the script we have to use this particular object on the ready on the function render container, and you have to provide this particular site key. So the site key means when coming back to here, this one, the site key and the secret key which we got it in the during the captcha development, right? That is what we are going to giving to here. So simply there was an illustration that is present in the script. In the script, if you have this particular ready, then only you perform all your operation. Once this is ready, then you perform these details. If at all there is an issue, then you will get the respective details as well. So whatever just I am showing it, these are all the client side one. Now let us go back to this particular demo and see it here. Okay. So this is my web resource, okay, that is being kept in one particular model driven app, which is nothing but the artifacts. In this particular artifacts, right, just I have one functionality that is present. For now, what I did just is I kept just only a single button. Okay, so just go to this artifacts. This is my model driven app. Just what I said, just I clicked on the weather details. Okay, so what I told you, right, I am using the this particular captcha v2 invisible. If you go back to this documentation, this one, reCAPTCHA V2 invisible badge. This is what I have used it here. Okay. So this HTML page has this particular one. So if I click on this particular submit, then some operation is going to happen on it. If you go back, if you just see this particular console, just see it. If I click on this particular submit, the success is present. So what is that? Just I have done here was um, going back to here. I'm going to my solution. Inside in my solution, just I have added one particular web resource. Just let me republish it. So if you observe, right, just I have included my particular side key here. Just if you observe, so this is my HTML. I told you, right, just I am going to use it, title reCAPTCHA. In this particular script, just I am using on particular submit, and on callback, just I am using right the reCAPTCHA render, and I have given the side key and the callback on this particular submit. So this is a standard code that you will be using it, and on the click of this particular button, right, so you will be directly seeing this one. If you observe, as per the documentation what I did, just inside this is an HTML web resource. Inside this particular HTML web resource, just I kept it, this is an action method post. I have an input button that is submit. It has a value submit, and along with that, just I use the script src, and it has this Google reCAPTCHA API, and onload on callback, and also render is equal to explicit, and then async differ. This means this request, that means calling to the captcha, will happen in an asynchronous way. So simply you have to use this particular script, and then okay. So just this particular script you have be kept it, you kept, and also in this function on the submit, just I have kept this one, and also on the form ID, just we'll be giving this captcha, and also on this particular submit. Okay. So ideally, right, this data side key you I just hard coded it, but the recommended way is to make that as a configurable by making it to read it from the environment variable. Okay, so let us go back to this source and just see it. When I clicked on particular submit, what is that it is there? This is an success that has been kept. So, okay. So the main important thing here is that this particular token, whatever the token, right? So it it always based upon this particular site key. So what it will do, right? It will go to this particular. It will okay. It will call this particular Google reCAPTCHA by going to this particular site, and then it will consider this particular site key, and then it will calls this one. So now after you call it, the site key from the client and also the site password at the server, if both have the relation, then I will get this particular token. Otherwise, I will get this particular issue. Just if you observe, right, I don't have this particular token that is present, but I will get that particular token that is being generated. So if you observe, just see it here. This is an reCAPTCHA. If you go back to the header and if you observe, this is the payload that we are giving it, and then is the response that I am going to give it here. Okay, so in this way, right, just you can perform all these this submit one. Okay, if you click on this particular submit, and then you will get this one. So what I will show you, right, just I will try to decipher this one. I will try to make this particular site key as some errored one. So just I will give a minute. Just I will update the site key. Just I will publishing it. Let me share my screen again. Just I stopped this one details. Now, uh, if I go back to here, it has been published. Now, do you see this one? Error for site owner, invalid site key that is present. Okay, like this, we will get this site key if it is not correctly populated. Also, if you go back to this particular documentation, there are a few details that are also present, like how you can call it from the this is step one invoke one. So just you can keep it as in one particular div and give the site key, and then you can use this particular execute, and then API JS you can keep it as onload or in H1 or in render you can keep it and then use it. If you are going to use the JavaScript API, see if you observe right, I have used this one uh, grecaptcha dot execute and other details only. So these particular language codes, like just you, I have implemented this particular reCAPTCHA for just for the English, but it is also the language specific where you can easily show it and the different places. Okay, so like that, right? Just in our any of the model driven apps, we can directly include our captcha related implementation inside that particular web resource. Now the later part of it is the API. Whether you can ask your API to build that particular one, or you can build that one by using on the Power Automate by adding this particular header. Okay, there are few challenges and considerations that are present. First is the handling async validation. That means the first thing, right? Until you get the response from the Google reCAPTCHA, right? So you have to wait. Wait. You have to wait, and then after you get the response, whether it is after success only, you have to call your respective functionality. So for that, right, the best thing is consideration is rather than going for the sync, you have to go for the async one. Next is user experience with visible captures. So at times, right, as if you observe capture, there is no need. So to show it that particular captcha in every page where this has been implemented, but the user experience wise it is here, and also the version choice, like whether to go for V2 or V3, it all depends upon um, the kind of behavior of your customer. So if your customer says that no, I don't want it to see that particular captcha and I don't want it to change, so I don't want it to clear or pass the challenge that has been passed, then you can go for the V3. Otherwise, you can say that okay, just for making the people to aware of it, this is insecure site, and you can show that particular captcha. Then you can go for the V2. Next one is the token expiration handling. So the main important thing here, right? Whenever you call this particular reCAPTCHA related site key and also the password, a token will be generated, and this token will have an expiry of 2 minutes only. So that means what you have to do it any of the operation is within this particular 2 minutes. That means the validity of a token is 2 minutes. That means within this 2 minutes you have to do it. But as per the business logic, if you have in a single HTML page, there are more API calls are there, then you have to plan in such a way that to generate the token in regular intervals of time. So if you don't do this one, only you can see the issues like forbidden, and forbidden issues you keep on getting it even though that API has been working before the implementation of this particular capture. Next is the mobile responsiveness, also one consideration you have to see it. So, what kind of best in practices that is being used by various implementation is use invisible or V3 for smoother UX. So always validate the server side to prevent spoofing. Okay, it was mentioned right. Validate the things at the server side as well, and also monitor the Google dashboard for any kind of anomalies. That means if you observe in the Google Cloud side, which I showed you, there is an dashboard that is present. In that particular dashboard, you can see for the anomalies. So just I will show it here. What is that? Just I'm seeing. So here, if you go back to this Google Cloud, going to the project, this one. This is the dashboard I am referring to. So if you observe right, you can use this particular dashboard. You can where you can see it. Okay, at 4:15, 4 to 4:15 time, just an API call has been kept, and also the APIs you can mention it. Also, there are some other details that are present where you can configure that particular details as well. and combine with other security methods like rate limiting and IP filtering as well. So not only with this particular captcha, but also the rate limiting and also the IP filtering. So rate limiting means just you have to do some other things like any other security breaches or security loopholes that are present. Those all things you have to also just take care about it. Also the IP filtering. So generally, right, we'll whitelist all these particular IP filters. So the in also in Azure portal in the keyword generally what we will do, we will whitelist the domains so that any request coming from that particular domain only this particular server will accept it. In the same way for reCAPTCHA also we can use the IP filtering, like by you can say that the domain name or the physical name or the logical name of it, whether it could be in the form of the particular IP addresses as well. So in summary, like so reCAPTCHA improves the trust and security, and integration is very much flexible with Power Platform and also model-driven apps in the business application. And the important thing is we have to careful on the UX and also the validation strategy, which is a key one. So with that, just I have concluded this particular session. If there are any questions, I'm happy to take them.
Thank you so much for the session, Venkat. I don't see questions at this point here. I'm sure there will be questions and people will comment on this video itself on YouTube. And if not, I've also added all your socials in the description of the video. So people can reach out to you directly via LinkedIn or Twitter or wherever you're active. In case you want to drop any of your blog articles, let me know. I'll just put them in the description as well. Thank you so much, Venkat.
Sure. Yes. Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining in, and thanks Yash and Ritika for again providing this opportunity to share my knowledge with the community.
Great. Thank you so much again, Venkat. Thanks everyone for joining.